Okay, I want to show you. How to. And I've already kind of done this before, but I want to review really quickly how you would set up an HMS model. We still have time to do this before 12 o'clock. And so I just want to do that, and then this afternoon, or if we have time before lunch, we'll talk about swim, okay? So, setting up an HMS model is not very difficult if you're just going to set up a basic model, okay? So I'm just going to start up WMS here. Could I borrow that dongle? Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to set up a HMS model here really fast. What you do is, and the easiest way to set up a model, the most straightforward method, is to use the hydrologic modeling wizard. That's this button right here. This button is called the hydrologic modeling wizard tool. If I bring this up, it will step me through the process of creating an HMS model. So the first thing I do is define my file name. Let's you call this whatever you want. We'll just call this, go to Sinai, and save that out. How come I have these cursors showing? Okay. Then you define your projection. So the projection for Egypt that you can use is UTM, and it's zone, what's the zone? 36. And the datum, WGS 84. And then I make sure my vertical projection is defined. You'll want it to be set to local in meters. So define all of that. Then I'll define my project boundary. So that's where I'm interested in doing a model. So bring up the virtual Earth. And just go over here to somewhere that you want to model. Let's go down here. And then the next thing is you download your data. So we're going to download a DEM, and you can also download your land use and soil data. And like I say, this data is also on on your computer for all of Egypt. I'm going to download the data, just my elevation data for this area. So click on this download data from web, and then WMS will ask me what the resolution is that I want to download. So for this project, I'm just going to enter 200. You can set that to be whatever you want, but like I mentioned, if you go below 90, then it's just going to resample your 90 meter data. So WMS will download my DEM for this area. And another thing I can do in this wizard is if I already have data, I can just open those data files. So I have some land use data. Under this Egypt folder, I have land use. Let's read in the land use file, the shape file. And then we'll also read in the soils file after this is finished. Still reading it. I guess I got the wrong one. Let me read the number 4 here. So there's my land use. I'll also read my soil data. So that's my soil data for that area. And we can zoom back into the area where we're working. Then I just go to the next step. The next step is running Topaz. And I'm going to compute my areas in square kilometers, my distances in meters. We'll run Topaz. And then you can define a min flow accumulation threshold. That's your flow accumulation threshold. I probably want to increase that. Let's increase it to like 50 square kilometers. And so I have a little stream coming down here, a wadi. Here I have another one. I can model either of those. So we'll create an outlet point. Let's model this one. Let's say, so I'll create my outlet point there. Delineate my watershed. And WMS will compute my basin area. And we want to run HMS. So you select HMS, initialize model data. And let's say we want to run for 2 days. So I'd run from 3/4/2015 to 3/6/2015. And my time computation interval is 10 minutes. And select this set job control data. Okay. Then I need to get my land use and soils. I can use this to get that information. So if I click on create coverages, WMS will create a land use coverage and a soil type coverage. Actually, I have the same land use and soil type in this whole watershed according to my data. So I'll select this soil type coverage, go to the soils, select this soil polygon that covers this, mapping shapes to feature objects, and let me turn off my land uses. So we'll go shapes to feature objects, next, and next, finish. Then I need to define my land use types. So I'll turn on my land use data. And actually, so in this case I don't have a land use polygon defined for this area. I have some polygons over here. But so I'll have to define my own land use. And I'm just assuming that the whole area is maybe just a rural area. Maybe there's nothing there. So I can define a land use polygon just manually. The other thing I could do is just enter a curve number. So if everything is the same, then I'm going to have a single land use, a single soil type, and I can just define a curve number for that land use and soil type. I don't need to worry about doing these coverages and computing a soil type. So I'll do that. Then I need to get a TC value, and you can just use this riverside method, mountains, That's my TC, my lag time actually. And WMS can convert that to a TC. I'll edit the HMS parameters. So I need to enter a curve number still. So let's say the curve number in this area is 85, or let's say it's 90. Maybe it's really rocky and I get a lot of runoff if there's a storm. I need to enter a lag time, and that's already been computed. So here's my lag time. And we use the SCS transform method in HMS. And then I can define my precipitation. So in this case, I'm going to just use one of these curves that's in WMS. There's this type 2 24-hour curve. And my rainfall depth, let's say it rains 2 inches. Okay, then I can run through these steps here. I'm going to turn some of these off. But we'll run the model checker. We can clean up our basin boundary. So this smooths the basin boundary. And no errors were detected in your HMS model. So we'll save our simulation. That just saves this WMS file. And then we can run the simulation. When I select this, it tells me to run an HMS model, I need to save it from WMS and then run it in HMS. So I go here to the hydrologic modeling module, HMS, save HMS file. We'll save this out to maybe we'll make a new folder called HMS, and we'll make a HMS file called Sinai. Oops. Then we can start up HMS. So here's HMS, and if I go to open, I can browse to that project I just saved. So I'll go to Sinai HMS, and here's the file. There's my watershed that I delineated, and I can go to compute. We'll try running this simulation. It looked like it ran successfully. We can look at the results. There's my hydrograph. Okay, so it's not hard to set up an HMS simulation. That took 5 minutes, right? 10 minutes. Just go through the wizard. When you set up simulation, I'd recommend just to get it first set up, just go through the hydrologic modeling wizard, get your model set up, and then you can go and change the parameters and resave your HMS model, and rerun it. But I don't know, are there any questions about this, about HMS that you have we'd need to talk about? Do you understand how to do it? Okay, so the main thing that HMS needs, it just needs a curve number, it needs your lag time, and it needs your precipitation. WMS does everything else. WMS does your basin areas and all that stuff. You just need to figure out your precipitation, curve number, and lag time. Everything else WMS takes care of. And the lag time's easy. You can use the basin data method. The curve number is a little bit harder. You have to have your coverages, your soil and land use coverage. You can compute a curve number. If you don't have those, then just enter a curve number. Okay? And then your precipitation, that's the hard part, I guess, getting your precipitation. So figure out how to get that. All right, well, let's go ahead and, so what about lunch? What are we going to do for lunch?
Would we
Okay, it's okay. I mean, I'm fine. Is everybody okay if we just continue talking, or do we want to? Do you want to continue, or do you want to have a break now, and then we have lunch for an hour till 1 o'clock, and then we start up again? Your decision. Either one's fine with me. Okay, so we'll hold off. It's okay.